Hey guys, it's NosferKitty here, and I'm here with Reanimation scheme. This is the demo for this game. The Kickstarter was just released. What day is it? Today, of all days, October 4th. So all the links. Well, when you're seeing this, it'll be Monday. So Friday, October 4th, is when the Kickstarter was released for this. Like with Red Embrace Hollywood, I'll put all the information for it down in the description. But it caught my eye on Twitter. It looks like a fun little, what do they call them? Otome game? Otome games. And I'm on a visual novel kick right now, like big time. If you've caught any of my streams, which, by the way, is where I've been lately. I've been streaming a lot over on DLive. I'll make a video on that sooner or later. But yeah, so we're not gonna fuss around too much here. We'll just get on into it. It's really pretty. Oh, and before I forget, the studio is Windchimes Games. Raenelle Talisko. Raenelle? Reanimation scheme service provider. Regions. Reanimate. I'm not going to pronounce half of these correctly. I apologize. Srianade. I don't know. Serenade. I can't say that. Okay. Promotion request pending. Rating poor. Oh! I can change my name. I think we're gonna do that. Enter. Oh, press enter after inputting your name. Cali. Can I change the last name too? Nope, just the first. Okay, that's fine. I don't mind. Ooh, Sebastian. Hi, I like your hair. Trouble is, you look quite androgynous, and, despite the name, I'm having a little bit of trouble. It does not give me the option to change the, oh, there it is. There's the settings. I need the music a little bit, dude. Little bit. Just for me. Dialogue font. This is what I'm talking... Okay. Again, if you've been on stream with me recently, you know how many times I've complained about not being able to read things. This is what I'm talking about. Thank you. Thank you for this. I appreciate this a lot. Not this particular game, but more games need to offer something like this, and also an option to maybe put like a opaque or an opacity controlled bar, or a bar where you can control the opacity behind the text so that, you know, it doesn't ruin the pictures, but it oh, I don't want to save. Okay, go back. How do go back? How do go back? Okay, there. Like something like this, like how this looks already. Because a lot of times people who use this particular game maker, it's Renpi, don't do this, and it's horrible for my eyes. Anyway, enough complaining. Cali, are you neglecting your work again? I suppose I'm not surprised at all. Sebastian's voice pulls me out of my thoughts, and oh my god, how cute! Kitty! And I turn to look at my familiar floating towards me, sprawled lazily on a book enchanted with air magic. I hastily withdraw my hand from the mirror, ending the steady stream of magic flowing through the connection. A swirl of colors with indecipherable runes on the surface of the mirror for a short moment before... Oh, excuse me. A swirl of colors with indecipherable runes appear on the surface of the mirror for a short moment before a peaceful purple returns, its faint glow casting a soft light on the ground. That cat is gorgeous. Oh. Well, I believe Sebastian is, definitely not male. Now that they've changed position. But again, trying not to assume gender on anybody here. Oh, this is me. Whoops. I don't pay attention. It's very early. I was taking a break. Surely I'm allowed to rest at some point. Oh, it's the cat is Sebastian. Okay. Okay, now I get it. You woke up less than an hour ago.
Well...
It was a very productive and exhausting hour, I assure you. I earned my break. His ears twitch as though he can sense my lie, and he stares at me with narrowed eyes for another moment before turning away with a sigh.
I suppose.
I should just be satisfied that you actually woke up at a decent, normal hour for the first time in your life. I'd punctuate the end of his sentence with a well-timed yawn, and Sebastian regards me with exasperation. The first and last time. Remind me to never do this again. Not even to check if I got my promotion. I can't help the fact that I'm a night owl through and through. Hey, it's me.
Huh?
Why did you even bother waking early for the results anyway? We both know you won't get promoted. How many times have you been rejected? Going for low blows now, I see. Well, I know exactly how to retaliate. Not as many times as you've lost me to Scryer's spell point. If I were you, I'd have given up by now. Clearly, the cards don't like you. Sebastian glowers at me, and I flash him an innocent grin. In response, he leaps onto my desk and flicks his tail, knocking half the items to the ground. He is a cat after all, isn't he?
Hey!
Get back to work. There's an endless queue of spirits with unfulfilled last wishes waiting for you to summon and reanimate them. That's what it was. We are a necromancer? Or budding necromancer? Yes. I read the thing yet again. You guys know me by now. I don't remember half the time before I get into the game. If you ever want that promotion, you really should consider working harder. With another swish of his tail, Sebastian hops off the desk and struts out of the room without a glance backwards. I can't believe I'm stuck with this cat for 3 more years until my cousin graduates. Staring at the mess on my floor, I let out a sigh and reached for the papers I need, kicking the rest to the side of the room to deal with later. Jesus Christ, it is me. I smoothed the crinkled sheets as best as I can, then squinted at the name and portrait of my next client, skimming over the information in his biography.
Right.
Jory Halwyn, 22 years of age. I moved to stand closer to the first sigil etched into the ground, my eyes fluttering shut. Ooh, pretty! Drawing upon the magic essence deep within me, I began chanting the spell to summon the spirit. As the last syllable of the incantation leaves my mouth, my magic rushes towards the sigil. The magic reserve in my body continues to empty at a rapid speed. After a minute of this process with no sign of an end, my eyes fly open in concern. Unusual. A spirit summoning spell shouldn't require this much magic to channel, nor this long to complete. Ooh, it's pretty! I concentrate on the sensation of magic Try that again. I concentrate on the sensation of magic essence flowing through my veins before leaving my body. I quickly realized that the stream is threatening to break from my control. I'm reading ahead, and that's the problem. What in the name of Ziana? I've never had this happen before. Right as I make the decision to end the spell early, a pulsing glow surrounds the sigil, indicating the spell's success. The temperature of the room plummets, and a soft mist starts to gather the room. Amidst the fog, a pale figure slowly appears. Unable to make out the hazy facial features to ensure I've called upon the right spirit, I call out,
Jory Alwyn?
He starts at the sound of my voice, lifting his head. He's wearing a cute little... His cloak has ears on it. Oh my god! It's so cute! I take a step closer to get a better look at his face. All of a sudden, a sharp stab of pain explodes in my chest. I double over, a loud gasp forced from my lips. Just as quickly, the pain melts away. My magic completely spins out of my control, surging from my body towards the sigil in the room. Ziana, what's happening? Despite my best attempts to cut off the invisible magic thread between the sigil and myself, I fail to regain control of my magic. I would curse the situation, but being rapidly drained of my magic causes an aching sense of exhaustion to consume me. My knees give way beneath me, and I fall to the ground. Struggling to maintain consciousness, I lift my head with great effort. My eyes widen at the peculiar sight in front of me. The spirit I've summoned seems to be absorbing the magic from the sigil, growing less and less transparent until I can no longer see the wall through his body. Is he causing this somehow? It's not even possible, is it? He flickers in and out of view, growing dangerously transparent as though he's about to disperse at any moment before solidifying again. His pale face contorts in confusion and pain. A few seconds later, he crumples into a heap on the ground. Great. Now there's two people I need to save. Myself and this spirit. Except I have no idea what I'm supposed to do. As a reanimator desensitized to death, I'm not afraid of the inevitable end. Though, of all the ways I thought I'd go, I never thought it'd be like this. I can already see tomorrow's headlines of the Nellenshire Crier. Reanimator dies from failed spirit summoning spell. There's an almost beautiful kind of irony in that statement. Ziana, imagine when my spirit gets summoned for my own reanimation rites. Imagine the embarrassment. No, I can't give up like this. I refuse to be known as the first death mage to die this way. Think, Cali. Think. What can I do? Desperately trying to keep my eyes open, I turn my gaze onto the sigil that's now glowing with such ferocity that it almost hurts my eyes. I don't know what's causing this. Something clearly went wrong with the spirit summoning spell. What if I destroy the sigil? Would it cut off the spell? I don't know if it would work, but I don't have more time to consider other ideas. Fueled by my strong desire to not have my legacy be the first reanimator in history to die from a simple spirit summoning spell, I begin dragging myself towards the glowing sigil. Drawing upon the remaining pitiful amounts of death magic inside me, I press my hand to the white lines on the ground. Ignoring the hot glow against my skin, I mutter an incantation. A small crack appears in the floor, cutting a runic symbol in half. Unfortunately, the crack does not extend far enough to reach a second one. I mentally swear to myself. I can already feel my condition worsening from these small efforts. The exhaustion becomes even more acute, and my body grows colder as the darkness threatens to overwhelm me. Panting, I shift my hand to another central rune of the sigil and attempt to cast the destruction spell again. I hear the sound of footsteps hurrying towards me, and I look up to see Sebastian in his human form, dashing into the room with an almost horrified expression written across his face.
What in the name of the 12 deities
is going on? How did you manage to mess up this badly, Cali? You are quite cute. Like in an adorable you turn into a cat sense. I quite like his hair. Cut off the spell, Cali. Are you an idiot? If I had the energy to roll my eyes at him, I would. Does he really think I haven't tried already? I can sense Sebastian releasing a huge burst of death magic, which surrounds him like an invisible aura. A deep crease appears between his eyebrows, and his volume raises along with his panic. What did you do? How is this happening? I don't know how to stop this. Answer me, Cali. Is this any way to treat a dying person? Swallowing several retorts on the tip of my tongue, I gasp out a few words, hoping it'll be enough for him to understand. Sigil. Destroy. Runes.
Huh?
It takes him a moment, but when my words sink in, he springs into action. Rushing towards the sigil, he focuses his attention on the biggest core runes etched into the ground, and murmurs a familiar incantation under his breath. A moment later, small cracks stretch across the ground, ruining the shape of the runic symbols. Almost immediately, the mist caused by my spirit summoning spell clears, and the depletion of my magic slows to a crawl, eventually coming to an end. Coffee break. Oops. Let's do that without bumping the mic. I finally allow myself to relax, not even caring that I'm lying face down on the cold, hard floor. I couldn't move even if I wanted to, with my limbs feeling like they weigh 1,000 tons. Now that the threat of imminent death is over, I can feel the adrenaline pumping through my veins fade by bit, and the edges of my vision blur. Hang on. I close my eyes, trying to keep my breakfast down as the wave of nausea hits me. In between sucking in deep breaths like a fish out of water, I can't help but grumble out loud with a long, drawn-out sigh.
Ziana, I hate my job.
You are quite pretty. The art in this. I always say this because I'm always so fucking amazed by the artists who put their work into these visual novels, but it's so fucking pretty. I sense Sebastian approaching me, lowering himself to sit on the floor next to me. I just can't leave you alone for 1 minute. Let's try that again. I just can't leave you alone for even 1 minute, huh? Wonderful. Just wonderful. What kind of mage are you? I can't believe you're a Talisko. I didn't want to be any part of this. Alright, yes. I did agree to be the familiar companion for every Talisko death mage upon graduation. But I thought it'd be easy. It was easy. Until you... Dear 12 deities, why are you punishing me like this? Despite the harsh words that continuously leave his mouth in a frustrated rant, he shifts closer to me with the aura of death magic around him growing in intensity, which eases the pain in my chest caused by my severe lack of magic essence. Eventually, his rant trails off into nothing. We sit there without speaking, and I keep my eyes closed as I try my best to recover my magic. When the color starts to return to my face, Sebastian finally breaks the silence.
What happened?
What did you even do?
Look here.
It wasn't my fault. I didn't do anything. It just happened. I resent that you immediately assumed I messed up.
All right.
Then whose fault was it, huh? How am I supposed to know? Not mine, at least. My spell was successful, I tell you. Mr. Spirit Jory over there is my proof. Sebastian arches an eyebrow at me, evidently still dubious about my innocence in this matter. A sudden expression of confusion and surprise crosses his face, and his head whips around, his eyes searching for the spirit in question.
Huh?
Cali, didn't you already end the spirit summoning spell?
What?
Still rather dizzy from the recent ordeal, I attempt to push myself up into a sitting position, wincing at the pain present in every part of my body. I feel like I've just accidentally stepped onto a barely passable teleportation sigil made by an apprentice mage. Of course, you helped me destroy the sigil, remember?
Why?
Then why is the spirit still there? I blink. That thought had not occurred to me.
Oh.
Well, that's a very good question. Hello, Mr. Man! I follow Sebastian's gaze and stare at the unfamiliar addition to the room, who has been lying on the floor like a corpse this whole time. His hood has fallen off his head, revealing his unconscious face, if unconscious is even the right word to describe a spirit. Can a spirit die and leave behind a corporal body?
Impossible.
Don't be silly! As firm as Sebastian's tone was, the hesitation in his movements as he climbs to his feet and starts inching towards the spirit reveals his uncertainty. Standing over the spirit, Sebastian frowns. Death magic flows from him, directed towards the spirit as I watch on dubiously. It takes a minute, but the spirit eventually begins to stir. Sebastian's eyes light up at the small movement.
All right.
There! Told you he couldn't be dead.
Wrong.
He's a spirit, remember? Sebastian stares blankly at me as it takes him a moment to get my joke. Very funny. Our exchange is cut short when the spirit leaps to his feet, shaking his head as though to clear it.
Golly gallops!
What was that? Who are you people? How do you know my name? Where am I? What is this place? Why am I here? Wait, I'm alive? Am I alive? What happened? He hasn't paused to breathe even once during this rapid-fire volley of questions, and I can feel my head starting to spin again. Pressing a hand to my right temple, I idly wonder if this is how he usually speaks, or if it's due to the lack of need to breathe as a deceased spirit.
Jory Hallwyn?
I assume you're Jory Hallwyn. I'm Cali Talisko, the reanimator in charge of your reanimation rites.
Huh?
Reanimator? Reanimation rites? He quietens for a moment, and I sigh, bracing myself for the hysterics that so often follow as soon as my clients come to the realization that they've already passed away. To my surprise, Jory seems to shrug off his death, and his cheerful smile returns. Well, should have known I couldn't have miraculous. Try that again. Oh well, should have known that I couldn't have miraculously lived. Feeling so unusually well should have been the tell. Looks like dying might have made me even dumber than before, huh? I can't help but raise an eyebrow. Joking about his own death already?
Ah!
I told Ma not to waste her gold on that reanimating thing, but of course she didn't listen. Despite my less than favorable feelings towards my job, I feel obliged to correct him on the name. Reanimation scheme.
Ah, yes! Right!
That thing. Well, it's very nice to meet you, Cali Talisko. Thanks for, whatever you did. The spirit draws closer to where I'm sitting. He crouches down so that we're about the same height and claps me on the shoulder in a friendly gesture. Still weak from my near-death encounter, I almost fall over from the force, and my pure astonishment that I could actually feel his touch. Did I fall asleep during a particularly important lesson at the academy about spirits that don't just pass through every object they come into contact with? I turned silently to look at Sebastian, who has the most dumbfounded expression on his face as his stare tries to burn a hole into Jory's hand on my shoulder.
You look like you're in low spirits.
I like you. He's so adorable with his little fucking, like, eared, like, hoodie cape. He pauses before chuckling to himself.
Get it?
Low spirits! I grow even more speechless, unsure how to react. The Academy did not prepare me for the day I'm faced with a spirit that can not only touch material objects, but also make bad puns about being a spirit. I'm fine. Thank you for asking.
Great!
So how does this reanimating thing work? Should I close my eyes? Will I find myself back in my body? How long does it last? What am I allowed to do, or not allowed to do? How do I come back? How am I supposed to cast the reanimation spell without an ounce of magic left? Not to mention, this turn of events grows more and more peculiar by the moment. I need to regain control over this situation somehow.
Sorry.
Actually, I'm sorry, but there's been a problem with the spirit summoning spell just now.
Ah, yes, right.
Was that what happened? That was some really strange...
Yes.
Yeah, so we're going to delay your reanimation rites for a little bit while we look into this. You'll be returned to where you came from, and we'll summon your spirit again when everything's ready.
It's okay.
Really? Well, it's okay. It can't be helped. I get it. I'll wait.
Right.
Thank you for understanding. Sebastian here will handle this spell to send you back. Sebastian finally comes back to his senses at the sound of his name, still looking as though he's seen a ghost, which, I remarked to myself with amusement, is the case. He gives a curt nod. He stares at Jory for a beat longer before raising his hand, and the familiar incantation fills the room. It doesn't take long before a purple glowing sigil appears at the tip of Sebastian's fingers. The mist surrounds Jory once more, and he peers at it with curiosity and excitement. All of a sudden, the sigil shatters without a sound. The fog disperses, revealing Jory's figure still standing in the room. Jory lifts his head in confusion, blinking at us.
Huh?
I'm still here? What happened? Sebastian frowns, and a different incantation pours from his lips as he attempts the reanimation spell instead. The corresponding sigil etched on the opposite side of the room flickers to life. Yet, just a moment later, the glow begins to grow fainter and fainter. At the fading glow, Sebastian's jaw clenches in concentration, and he increases his channeling of magic essence towards his sigil. His efforts prove to be in vain. Once again, the symbol hanging in the air in front of Sebastian explodes into splinters. The sigil on the ground returns to its inactive state, with no sign of any glow in sight. Sebastian appears to have transformed into a statue in his shock, his arm still frozen in its lifted position. I try to hide my own bewilderment as I jump to my feet, ignoring the wave of dizziness caused by my sudden movement. Sienna, what's going on here? As much as I hate to admit it, Sebastian's a much more powerful death mage than I am. A simple reversed summoning spell and a reanimation spell shouldn't pose any challenge for him. Why didn't it work? How is that even possible? It takes great effort for me to force a courteous smile on my face as I address Jory. Looks like the problem may be more complicated than expected.
It's okay.
I understand. That's fine. These things happen. You know, at least it didn't go as horribly as the time Vemic from the village at the foot of the hills tried to hold a reanimation rites of his own. He swore he had the potential to be a death mage, and he called all his friends over to watch, and golly gallops, you would not believe what happened. I clear my throat, cutting off his rambling.
Right.
Please, just stay here for now and make yourself at home. I offer a taut smile to the spirit, who gives me a sanguine grin in return. I then hurry over to Sebastian and grab his arm, pulling him to the other side of the room.
What in the name of Ziana
is going on? Did you mess up the spells just now?
Of course not.
As if you even need to ask. Then why didn't they work?
You tell me.
I don't know. You're the one who summoned this spirit. Is it even a spirit?
What?
Of course he is. How else would a man just appear in my study like that? What are we supposed to do now? I can't redirect his spirit to his body for reanimation, nor can I send him back to the spirit realm. I can only shrug in return. I'm as much of a loss as he is. The pounding in my head worsens, but I have to force myself to think. I could contact the headquarters for help, but what if they determine it's my fault and lowers my chances of getting that promotion? On the other hand, it might actually make me look worse if they catch wind of what happened and realized I kept it under wraps instead of reporting the incident to them. Maybe I should ask Aldrius instead. He's always poring over those ancient scrolls from the headquarters library. He could have come across something that'll shed some light on the situation. And my best friend wouldn't tattle on me to the authority. Or we could just try to figure this out ourselves first. If we fix this problem, we don't have to get anyone else involved. My gaze falls on the ruined sigil on the ground, and an idea begins to form in my head. Perhaps the reason Jory is lingering in the living world, is because the sigil he's summoned by is destroyed, and the one who summoned him, it wasn't the one attempting to send him back. Might be a long shot, but possibly worth trying first. I would like to ask Aldrius. Aldrius has helped me out of several sticky situations before. Maybe he'll have an idea this time as well. At the very least, even if he doesn't have a clue, I can rant about this horrible morning to him and to make myself feel better. I think I'll try to contact Aldrius first. Maybe he can help.
I suppose.
That can work. Your choice. Will you tell Aldrius about him, Mr. Spirit Jory? You know what will happen if the authority discovers Jory's existence, right? I frown. Something about Sebastian's tone tells me he's not referring to something nice.
What?
You've never seen a spirit that was corporeal. I hate this word. Doubt they have either. You can guess what they'll do to him once they hear of this. Perhaps even you.
Oh.
I fell quiet. Although Sebastian's words were quite vague, he's said enough for me to understand what he's insinuating. The atmosphere between us grows heavy, and I clear my throat to break the uncomfortable silence.
Right.
Well, I could ask Aldrius to keep this a secret from the authority, but it's probably better if I just don't let him know in the first place. I'll leave Jory out of it when I ask him for help. Some of the clouds clear from Sebastian's face, and he nods in agreement.
All right.
While you do that, I'll see if I can find anything useful in the books. I nod in agreement. Sebastian takes his leave, and I let out another heavy sigh before walking towards the mirror. And we are going to leave this here before we go and contact Aldrius. Yes! next episode, I don't know how long any of these are going to be. So, yeah. Like I said, it's a demo. We'll see how long it goes for. But, we'll see Aldreas in the next one. So far, I'm really liking this. Like I said, the art is fecking gorgeous. And yeah. Like, all the links in the all the links to, Kickstarter, the itch page, all that good stuff down in the description below. If you want to give this a go for yourself instead of, waiting for the next part for me, or if you just want to help the devs out, which I highly, suggest you do, because this is going to be a good game. So, yes. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like if you enjoyed. If you have any questions, comments, feedback, or game suggestions, please feel free to leave them down in the comment section below, and I will see what I can do about playing certain games. And good news, upcoming, I will be releasing a Discord for anybody interested in that. It will, there will be a video upcoming, just talking about not changes, but additions to the channel, talking about, the streaming schedule and things like that. So keep an eye out for that. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.